Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I will be showing how I made this DIY whipped soap base from scratch. If you're interested in seeing how I made this, keep watching. Let's jump right in. First, I started off with distilled water. Make sure it's distilled water, no nasties. You cannot use tap water, so don't try that. Next, we're going to add in our humectant, glycerin. Actually, we're just going to go through a rundown of all of the ingredients that we need because it's good to have everything pre-measured out before you start making something. Next, we're going to go in with the stearic acid. Okay, see how small the granules are? We have to make sure that we get these fully melted down when we go over to our water bath. Next, we are going to add in our SCI powder. Okay, next we're going to add in our Coco B Liquid surfactant. This is derived from coconut, so it's completely safe. Our preservative is going to be Optiphen. I got mine from Brambleberry. Okay, now we're going to start off by adding in our glycerin. This is the humectant that I was talking about earlier. It's going to completely dissolve in this water because it is water soluble. So we're going to go ahead and add in our glycerin, and we're going to give this a good mix with our distilled water, and we'll move on to the next ingredient. Okay, all of our glycerin is mixed in. Now we're going to go ahead and add in our stearic acid. Now this isn't going to really do too much right now. It's just going to float on top of the water, but we are going to heat it on the stove in a double boiler method, so it will dissolve down a little bit later. But we're going to go ahead and add in our stearic acid and give that a little mix, even though it's not going to really do anything to it just yet because everything is still cold, well, room temperature. Next, we're going to add in our SCI powder. Make sure you have a respirator mask on. You do not want to breathe in this powder. It becomes airborne instantly. It poofs up. It's very irritating. It'll have you coughing. Just wear a mask. Make sure you have a mask on. Make sure you have a mask on. Make sure you have good ventilation. We're in the work area where you're creating this. Make sure you have a mask on. Very, very important. Very, very, very important. Make sure you have that mask. I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you have a mask. Don't say you weren't warned. Now I'm going to add in the rest of my SCI powder and mix it up. You want to make sure that the only thing that's really clumping and on top of the water and glycerin liquid is just the stearic acid. You want to make sure that the SCI powder gets fully submerged and is mixed in nice before you bring it over to the hot water bath. So we don't want anything floofing up or any dry powder sitting on the top. We need everything to be fully mixed in to this for it to work the way it's supposed to work. And this is my first time making my own foaming bath whip, but as compared to the one that I bought and the one that I made, the one that I made is a lot more moisturizing and nourishing versus the one that I bought that was a lot more stripping on my skin. So I don't know, and it doesn't take that long to mix together. Now we're going to add in our Coco B Liquid surfactant derived from coconuts, a very mild, bubbly cleanser, just like the SCI powder. It is a mild surfactant. They use it mostly in baby products, so completely safe for your skin, nice and mild. Give everything a good mix and get ready to bring it over to our hot water bath. we're going to heat it up until all the stearic acid is melted. See the stearic acid on the back of the spatula? Those are going to take a few minutes to melt down. They will melt down eventually. And since I made this in such a small batch, it won't take that long for everything to get fully incorporated all together. But please take note, in larger batches, the stearic acid will most likely be the last thing to melt down because it's just stearic acid. It takes more heat to melt it down. Stearic acid is almost completely melted, and our mixture is becoming a cloudy white color, which is good. A little bit more stirring, and then we're going to go ahead and remove this off the heat. Looks pretty good. Don't worry about the little bubbles. We are mixing up surfactants. Now we're ready to take off the heat and get ready for the cool down ingredients. Now that we have removed our mixture from the hot water bath, the double boiler, we are just letting it cool down while mixing and stirring, and you see it's starting to become even more opaque. That is what you want. Now we want it to actually cool down and start to get clumpy. If you've ever worked with foaming bath whip base before, you know that it's white, and when you go to melt it down, if you do decide to melt it down, it turns clear. Now we're just waiting on it to get that clumpy feeling and thicken up and become even more opaque. Believe it or not, this will become completely white when it's finished. This is the start of it being almost done. See how white and opaque that was? That was scraping the side of the bowl. Eventually, it would all turn that white, opaque color and thicken up just as the small pieces do on the sides of the bowl. That is what we're going for, which means this is not a bad formulation for this whipped soap base. Not too bad if I do say so myself. We can do a quick temperature check, make sure that we're going down. We're at 102.3. It is going down. I'm gonna let it sit and we're gonna come back and we'll stir it. This is a few minutes later. See how it's thickening up. It's starting to turn white. We're gonna let it sit again, but next time we'll come back with the electric mixer, or you can use an immersion blender to fully mix this up so it can fully come to color. Okay, after mixing, this is what we are left with. Time to add in our preservative. Like I said before, I got mine from Brambleberry and I'm using Optiphen. So I'm gonna grab my beaters and we're gonna go ahead and mix this up. See how opaque it is? It looks nothing like the liquid that was on the stove. It's no longer clumpy, it's nice and uniform. We have a very nice formulation here for this DIY from scratch foaming bath whip. Make sure you store it in an airtight container for later projects. Once you reach the fluffy whipped cream type texture, you are ready to go. You can use this formulation right away or put it aside for later use for other projects. I'm going to store mine in a plastic bin that I had from another soap product, and I'll be grabbing it from that container the next time I go to make a product using my DIY base. Now, if you would like to see me use this DIY base and make a whipped foaming sugar scrub, please like this video. Please comment that you want to see that video and I will get that up and in the works for you. Stay to the end of this video so you can see the lather test. You're not gonna want to miss this. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. And as I said before, if you want to see a video of me using this base, let me know in the comments down below. Bye guys.